Hi folks! Well, this week we're doing something a little special, taking a little break from our South Dakota series to bring you a couple fall color extravaganzas. We hope you enjoy them. Hi folks! Welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corinne.
And this week we have a really special episode for you.
We're going to be in southern Utah doing fall colors.
And it is absolutely beautiful out here right now. Most years we actually miss either the very beginning or the very end of fall colors. In fact, most years we just shoot the very end of fall colors. This year we're here early, and we've got splashes of green and splashes of gold and splashes of yellow and splashes of red. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to be here for about a week. And so since we're on the front end, we'll be able to see the changes. We'll get some early coloring and then hopefully catch the peak.
And just while we've got you at the beginning of this video, we'd sure appreciate it if you've been watching us for a while and haven't subscribed yet, to hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it as we try to build our channel. And if you like the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Good morning, folks. Out here ready to do some morning photography. We've got a hill back behind us to the east, and so the sun is just cresting over that hill, and it's a lovely morning. A little bit of crispy air for fall, and there's a little bit of light cloud in the air, in the sky, and that is wonderful because it filters the light and makes it less intensely bright on your subjects, especially when you're going to do something in a woodland or a forest. If you have too much bright sunshine, you get darker shadows. So this morning, with that filtered light, it doesn't make the difference between the light patches and the dark patches quite so intense. That really gives it a nice glow where you want some light showing up, but it's subtle and very beautiful. I'm going to show you what I've set up for my first shot this morning. This is a wonderful little aspen stand. There's some quite mature trees in here, but there's also some younger trees. And it's just early in the season. We're still getting quite a few green trees that are in amongst a few of the golden yellow aspen. And so that's nice because you can show some differences, some change. And what I've been working on is a couple little small saplings down here, quite attractive. But what makes them more visible in this forest is one, that they're not crowded by too many really tall trees, so they kind of set apart from the rest. The other thing is that the trees in the background are still quite green. Here's the view on the back of my camera, and I've kind of a little offset them from the center. You can see quite a few white tree trunks and then the green background. So the vibrant yellow-orange color of these trees is quite distinct from the rest of the background behind it and really sets off the trees. It's a really simple settings, f/16, aperture priority ISO 100, and the shutter speed is just set by the camera based on the lighting. So I'm going to take a few shots like this and then move on to some other subjects. So after doing my pair of trees that were light yellow and in front of a big stand of larger aspens, I've decided to move in closer and just focus on one of the trees with the trunks of the larger aspens behind some greenery. And I've also switched to portrait mode so that I can make this one sapling the largest, most prominent subject in my picture. And I've just been waiting to hopefully get a nice little glow of light as the sun rises. It seems like I've picked a sapling that's in the shadow of some of the other trees closer to where the sun's rising. So I'm just playing a patience game and hoping that the light will hit the sapling very soon. You can see the setup I have for the sapling in the back of the camera. And I'm just waiting for that light to hit it. It looks like it's gonna come along in just a few minutes. One of the things I've done here, instead of using my usual f/16, is I've gone down to an aperture of f5.6, and that's going to make my small sapling focused, but the background blurred. And I'm hoping that will draw the viewer's eye directly to the sapling and give a context that it's within the forest grove, but then it won't have the background trying to compete for the eye, the attention of the viewer.
In our past fall color shots, I've always been focused on either taking large vistas with patches of color in it, or try to take a lot of shots with sort of the whole tree or a very high percentage of the tree. And frankly, I've never been all that enamored with the shots that I've taken during fall color season. So this year I'm doing something a little different, to be focused on just taking parts of the tree, really using the backlighting to enhance the beautiful color in the trees, and just giving sort of a hint of the trunk of the tree, often just enough so that you know that it's a tree, but outside of that, really just focused on trying to catch the essence of the fall colors. I'm hoping that I'm going to get something that I really like. This is going to be hard work because it's not something that's natural for me. What's more natural for me is to back up and take the whole tree. So I'm going to have to really think about this, and it's going to be a really good challenge for me for this week. So it is early in the morning, and I am working on this shot with these beautiful aspens. There's according to Corinne, probably a multiple series of colors here. Some yellow, some red, some green, with the really white trunks. And then there are these three rocks that are down in the middle of the photograph that are quite a bit of a contrast to the trunks coming down, the tree trunks coming down. And so I'm using those to kind of anchor my shot to the ground. And at the same time, I'm not necessarily trying to take the whole tree. In fact, I'll give you just a quick glimpse of the back of the camera. So I'm not actually trying to get the whole tree. I'm just trying to get enough so that we've got a nice color canopy, these nice, fairly straight, very bright white trunks coming down into these anchoring red rocks. So I'm hoping that's going to work out. I've been taking the shot with very little light, and then I've also been taking the shot with much more light. I've also been varying my aperture. I'm shooting around about an f9 right now. I may actually, lower that down to sort of blur out the background a little bit more. And I'm also shooting at ISO 800 in order to speed the shutter speed up, in order to make sure that the moving leaves are frozen when I take the shot. So I don't really want a lot of blurriness in the top of the photograph. So I've, really increased the ISO in order to get a much higher shutter speed. And I'm just going to wait for the light now. So we'll just have to see how this turns out.
When you're setting up your camera, it's often natural to get your tripod set up so the camera's at eye level. And that can work if you're doing great vistas or something that's in a distance from you. But if you have something that's pretty low to the ground, instead of angling your camera down to the ground, do think about lowering your tripod height. I'll give you an example for the picture I'm taking here. I've got my camera set up here, about waist height, a little bit lower on the tripod because my subject matter is quite small. What I'm working on is this small evergreen tree, the one that's towards the center of the frame. And I want to get down low enough so that instead of getting mostly ground behind it, when I lower down, I get more of the natural aspen colors of the leaves for the trees that are backing behind it. And this has another feature for my picture that I want to mention, and that is that I often look for contrasts. Something that looks different than the entire surrounding area. So this little evergreen tucked in amongst the aspen provides a great contrast. There's a dark green pine needles on a very bushy trunk with the golden aspen leaves behind. So it really highlights that tree and brings it into sharp contrast to the background, draws the viewer right to the subject matter.
One of the things I've been trying to get much better at is my drone photography. I've used the drone quite a bit over the years to do video and do shots very much like this where we go through the trees and we see the beautiful colors. But I've now started to spend more time trying to develop my photography skills using the drone in order to give me a interesting and different perspective on the shots I want to make. Here are some examples that came from our fall photography. sure hope you enjoyed the video today, and if you did, we'd sure appreciate if you gave us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, we'd also appreciate if you would subscribe. And as always, we love hearing from you, so please don't hesitate to leave us a comment, thought, or an idea. Take care, and bye for now.